Like I said, it's a joke. Like it's just so funny. So my latest scandal, we'll call it that, Clarence Thomas, the Supreme Court justice, has been in
Hmm.
trouble. Just like ethically, like people are condemning him. They won't impeach him, which is the only way he can get off of the Supreme Court bench. So like
Yeah.
it's not happening. They're not going to do that. But it also made me realize like not only how naive I am, but just being like my middle class background, like I would not be good with bribery. Like I guess I could be bought for a song. Because okay, listen to some of the some of the stuff.
I'm interested because
Go ahead.
I want to. I just know when you say robbery, like I sometimes question my morals too on what price would I be willing to not look some way or look some way. So go on, I'm listening.
No plans to run for public office or be a judge, and I
Oh
assume that
shit!
you don't have those plans either. So this is all fictional and just haha funny.
All right, let's get this.
So So Clarence has been accused, allegedly, of accepting these grand gifts from this billionaire, this conservative billionaire. Like he's pushing
Okay.
policy on Roe v. Wade, all that fun stuff, just terrible shit. And I mean, the guy like likes to collect Nazi memorabilia. So this is who we're dealing with. So we won't even talk about.
This is the person who is supplying the money.
Yeah,
This is his background. Okay.
exactly. So we won't even get into the fact, like, I would hope that a white supremacist wouldn't be able to sway me at all. But anyway,
Exactly.
so some of the perks that Clarence has gotten from being friends with this guy, he said they've been friends for 25 years. Luxury vacations. Do you want to take a guess how much these vacations go for? Like each vacation, not accumulative. Like how much this man spends on one Clarence Thomas vacation a year?
Because you're saying he's a billionaire, and just because I'm only using this gauge because of Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson takes these extravagant trips where Jimmy Kimmel wants to get on so bad. He's so sad about this. We're Samuel L. Jackson, but I think it's almost like a half a million that Magic might do it, and I might be generous. I'm just going to say with a Supreme Court justice, a billionaire, and this is sounding outrageous because I can't even fathom a vacation being this much. Maybe 2 mil.
Half a million per vacation.
That's that's still
Yes, it's
ridiculous. Like
half a
that.
million because they fly private and like he has like a mega yacht that they're
This,
able to board and all
of
that other
course, of
stuff.
course.
And like he has like these luxury resorts, a lot of them that he owns. So, and like I said, this is just one vacation. They vacation with him. They go to Indonesia, they'll go to his resort in Texas. There's this male only resort in California that they go to.
Mail only. Fuck are y'all doing at a mail? First off, what is that? Why are y'all going? I'm not going to any resort in the United States. Like that is that's not even a reason. Like what the fuck?
Kid-free resorts. I've never heard of no
Yeah,
girls allowed. Like you are 70-year-old men. Are you kidding me?
this sounds all right. Let's just talk. But before you even go further, because this is something interesting. This sounds Epstein-ish,
Mhm.
or or even a whole 180 to that. Something
Absolutely.
completely different, completely
Absolutely.
just different, where other things are just being involved. But go on.
So
Uh,
that's just the vacations. These are just the trips that, like, again, at least one annually, but I think they travel at least a couple times this year. And the reason why this is a big deal is because Clarence is like, well, we're friends. Like, I didn't know I had to disclose that. He is a mega donor to conservative movements. And he was like, oh, I had to tell people that I go on luxury vacations with him. I mean, everything, like,
I think just morally within yourself, I don't even give a fuck. Like you don't have to. Within your, how are you friends with somebody who supports anything that's like that? Like I'm not down with any of that stuff. Like where's this dude from? Like the billionaire person that has this history.
I mean, he has roots in Texas. And
Us, to
yeah,
me, any of that southern root means that there's. We get on this a little bit already, but I feel like if your family has anything to do with any infringement upon our type of people, and you're out there supporting any type of that type of shit, friendship is out the door. I
Well,
don't. We can't be friends.
one day I'll just read some of Clarence Thomas's opinions to you, and you'll realize the depth of this. Even though he's
This
a
is
black
crazy.
man, like no,
Uncle Ruckus.
yes, yes, because Nazi memorabilia. Like I'm just interested in that at that time in history. We,
No, that's not. That's like the people just saying like the Confederate flag is just like that supports like their
it's
southern
not
like
hate.
heritage. What a yeah, bullshit. Like they
Bullshit.
don't understand the creation of the Confederate. It was created to uphold and keep slavery. Like bullshit. That's some bullshit. Fuck that. Fuck that. Yeah, I don't. I'm baffled just at the fact that like when it comes to like taking money or things like that, like I don't know where I sway with that. Like I said, like you probably can get me to do some things, but whenever it comes to a friendship like this, like there's no way. I don't
Like I
understand
said, like
how.
he calls this man like his family friend. Like like his
Like
close.
I picture these things. First thing that comes to my mind is like these episodes that happen on like Oprah, like the classic ones, wherever she has these people on the panel, like, and you get their real, true feelings. So, like to me,
Exactly.
we don't get beyond like we can't after that show's over like there ain't no continued dialogue where we're trying to break a barrier to be friends. There's no barrier that's ever going to be broken. They're
Exactly.
not going to cross that barrier. That
Exactly.
barrier doesn't exist to them. Like they're ingrained with hate. You can't get that out of them, and we're not friends, and we can't go on trips together. Like
This
that's some
is
fucking
the
bullshit.
same man who got freaking Ivy League degrees, you know, like for undergrad and for law school, and is trying to tear down affirmative action. Like, like you were in these institutions in the 60s. Like, how do you think you got in them? If not,
This is one of them motherfuckers get it brand new. I really
so,
there's so many.
so that's Clarence.
What I understand that like for you to get into like the Supreme Court, you have to be appointed by the president. But before that, like what qualifications do you have to hold before you're even up into that press like, before you're held within that like prestige? Like what is your journey to get there?
District,
Like how
yeah, district judge at the federal level. Also, that's basically the only qualification. Mostly, they usually have illustrious careers in prosecution and stuff like that before they get, and that's picked by the president too. But those are the appointments that, like, unless they're extreme, we don't really hear about them. Like Trump actually appointed more judges to like the lower federal bench than what's normal because Obama had so many vacancies due to him just kind of dawdling and then also Mitch McConnell to like after a certain point blocking him. So Trump had
yeah,
way more vacancies than what was normal for a president. So basically anybody who holds these lower federal like judge benches, and again, like you don't even have to be a judge necessarily before this to get nominated and then voted in. Like it's all political theater now, you know, basically. Like you have the votes, you can get anybody to go in through there. And like there was this one judge that had no judicial experience at all. And so he got approved into a lower bench. He was a Trump appointee. He got appointed to a lower bench, and then like a couple of years later they wanted to appoint him again. So the year or two before that he was marked as unqualified by the American Bar Association, and then a year
yeah,
later they're like, oh no, he's qualified for this new position. It made no sense. They're like, oh, because he's been a judge for a year now. It made no sense. It's all, but yeah. So
yeah.
yeah,
See,
go ahead.
no, I was just saying I just bring that up because I know that like whenever it comes to like Kamala Harris, like they bring up her legal history and things like that and how she's viewed or who she put in jail, things like that. I'm scared to see or hear the cases that he had to preside over before he got to that position. Like I want to know if
That
there was like anything that he was like known for or like what rulings and things like that. I want to know what his history was before he got
I was a lot of
to
them.
that
A
level.
lot of them are in academia. They teach a lot, and like, and not in just like regular teaching, like Harvard, Yale professors, and like I said,
This be
like yeah. So they're the conservative project with Clarence. He's He's probably a true believer, but the fact that
That's I'm just thinking of how much money. Like you're just saying, like I'm just right now. So
meanwhile,
he
Clarence,
obviously is a prestigious judge or
yes,
whatever, so he's getting revenue with that. But then you get that Harvard, like that's an extra sense of like that's an extra source of revenue. Like there's just
yes. So
it's crazy how rich these motherfuckers are. Like when it
and how rich they are when they're public servants. And like, mind you, I wouldn't turn down $285,000 a year to be on the Supreme Court. That's a good living. But the perks that these people get and the prestige, like that's nothing. Like that salary is
yeah
nothing. And so like it just blows my mind. So you see him like accepting $500,000 vacations. That's over that's almost twice less than half of your salary, like for the year. And like it just okay, but another thing that this man did for Clarence, Harlan Crow. So he bought Clarence Thomas's mother's home, the home where he grew up in. He bought that off of Clarence, and so he bought a couple of houses. I think this is in South Carolina, like on the street. He had actually bought two houses for $40,000. Do you want to know how much he paid Clarence Thomas for his mom's house?
wait, Clarence bought this for 40,000.
No, the billionaire. So like he bought like several houses on the street where Clarence Thomas
Okay,
grew up. And so he got two houses for $40,000. He bought Clarence's childhood home for $133,000. Worth 20K.
wow.
And
So this is like there was no upgrades, no changes to this property, no
he
nothing that.
he bought it as is at $133,000, and then after he purchased it, he did $36,000 worth of renovations to the house that Clarence's mom still currently lives in.
Wow, wow. And like I'm surprised that even got like to me. Sometimes things like this, like I don't know. Like I respect the old ways that I guess these mafia people try to money launder things and try to smuggle their money. Because like to me, like this is just stupid. Like I don't understand. Like it's just obvious. I don't know where like how you can't like just see what's going on here.
It's
That's what I'm like.
it's just
Whenever you're this
brazen.
high up, I would feel like you would have more discretion with these type of things. But I
That's
guess
what
whenever you're this
blows my
high up,
mind. Yes.
sometimes I guess when you're also, I guess this must be just a double-edged sword. Cause if you're that high up, you must just think that you're never going to fall. Like nobody's ever going to see this, or so like you're just doing whatever because you must have people paid in every department where you're getting away with this for so long. Obviously, somebody's out here
And it's
doing their homework
so
now, but that's
hard
fucking crazy.
to impeach a Supreme Court judge. I don't know if it's ever been done. Like I'll have to do I should have looked it up before I like came on here. But like it's damn near
Mm,
impossible. Like people are calling on him to resign. I'm like he's never going to resign. There's no no there's no accountability if
like,
he doesn't resign. Like he's just going to sit on the bench for as long as he wants to. Like
yeah.
that's it.
There are certain markets where like it's crazy. Like in this area where I'm at, like the market with housing actually like it's mind blowing how like the rates are going up, like how what we bought it for and how much we're going to sell it for. But that don't happen in every community. And that price right there from a 20K to what 133
Yep.
and then what how many renovations?
Almost $40,000
Man, I
after
don't
he
like.
bought it.
I'm just mad that like I feel like
And his mom still lives there. So that's the
it's
other thing. Like, it's just blatant. Like, it's
it,
just blatant.
it's bad because the first person I think about whenever like stuff like this happens is Darwin because I'm like if you tell Darwin something like this motherfucker will have a plan on he'll make that money get like you ain't gonna find a trace or a trail that they need to get that motherfucker on their department and talk to them because like you can to, like I don't know why you like I really think that it's to a point with them on why it was the way it was, like why they're going that route. I think that they just probably felt invisible
Any
and they
time,
probably
yes. Anytime I've ever read extensively on like a specifically a public servant who's just like it's just so brazen. Like I'm talking about like 500,000 shopping sprees at Dior and like
Nah,
or a watch that costs about that much on your wrist. Like you're just you don't care. Like
I
at the
feel
end of
you.
the day.
I feel you.
I don't so like I'm like taking this stuff in. Oh, and okay, his wife is also like a right wing nut job. Like that's I mean she was a part of like the January 6th planning. Like she helped bust people in from different
Yeah,
parts of the country and like so this is who we're dealing with. She's insane. But so so this man donated out of the goodness of his heart $500,000 to his wife's little activist group, the Seed Money, to get it started. But they're just good friends.
man. Look here. I just feel like when it comes to this motherfucker, because like you said, like hypothetically, if I'm in a position where somebody's going to do this for my mom, I might be looking another way too. But with Clarence Thomas, you don't sell your soul for this shit. Like where you're fucking up with
Boy,
this, like
have a soul.
morally, like yeah, whenever you're doing this, the connection that you're making with this person in the history of where he's coming from, in the history of what your Keller represents, like it doesn't mix. So while you're receiving, like it's just one of them motherfuckers, like you're just it's Uncle Ruckus, and he just got brand fucking new and just said fuck them niggas pretty much. Like
Oh
that's what
yes,
he's
that
about. Like
that's
he's
it.
just well beyond that. Like that's just it's disturbing. That's some bullshit, yo. That's some
This
fucked up shit.
and
I
so
call for his impeachment. He needs to get the fuck out. Fuck out of here. Who the fuck raised you? You need to donate some of that shit to us. The fuck?
he will not. We need to pull
No,
ourselves
hell
up by
no.
the bootstraps, like he did.
Motherfucker. Man, bullshit. That motherfucker was kissing ass in this all boys club in California. The fuck out of here, bootstrap my ass.
Like, so
That's some
clearly,
bullshit.
I don't know anything about what it means to be bribed because, like, a $500,000 vacation would never even occur to me. Like, I don't even know anything about that. I can't even conceive that in my brain. Like,
Whenever you keep saying that, because I keep thinking about, look, I went to Jamaica on all inclusive for about 5,000. So to say that
exactly,
number, I can imagine what the fuck you're doing at 500,000. Like you can do whatever the fuck you want. Like
um,
I can do whatever the fuck I wanted at 5,000. So like you're
exactly.
saying, there ain't no,
That's endless drinks and food. That's a good time.
that's
You have
man,
beautiful views, all that good stuff. I don't know
man. Tell me about
anything.
it,
I don't know anything about this. Like somebody like, how about I buy your mom's house? And for
man.
like six
Yeah,
times what it's actually worth.
he done sold his soul to somebody else a long time ago, and
Long time ago.
he's still reaping the benefits. And I'm calling for his impeachment because this is some bullshit. Because if you ain't out here to help us and represent for us, you don't need to be the fuck in there.
And replace Thurgood Marshall, mind you. Like, you know, they
Don't. That just hurts. That's oh oh
that's a conservative
oh.
joke. It's like,
Thanks for watching the YouTube page. For more exclusive content, like and subscribe. And if we said something wrong or if there's anything you want us to bring up, leave a comment right down there.